humiliated on the interstate.
I was stunned, appalled, confused as to why this was happening.
A bus carrying black lacrosse players were pulled over for a minor traffic violation. According to the players, when officials saw they were black, things went left. Is this a case of racial profiling? I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. On April 20th, 2022, the Delaware State University's women's lacrosse team, they were heading home after playing a series of games in both Florida and Georgia. They say sheriff's deputies in rural Liberty County, Georgia, stopped their bus driver for a left lane violation. They say they didn't think much of it until one of those deputies hopped on their bus, saw that there were mostly black women on board, then started searching their bus for drugs.
It's a lacrosse team.
The team says that when they got stopped, at first, the deputies were nice.
Ladies, how are y'all doing? Good, how are you? We won't have you guys for just a few minutes, okay?
One deputy then gets off the bus and starts talking to his partner.
A bunch of dang schoolgirls on the bus. It's probably some weed.
They talk a little more and made a decision. The minor traffic violation would soon turn into an all-out search.
Okay, every day we get out here, we stop commercial vehicles, okay? Believe it or not, the majority of the drugs and large amounts of money, trafficking children, trafficking anything up and down these interstates, that's what we look for, okay? Y'all look, we're gonna check y'all's luggage, okay? If there is anything in y'all's luggage, we're probably gonna find it, okay? I'm not looking for a little bit of marijuana, but I'm pretty sure you guys as chaperones are probably gonna be disappointed in you if we find any. If there is something in there that is questionable, please tell me now, because if we find it, guess what? We're not going to be able to help you.
Player Sanaya Kraft says that she did what she thought was right and pulled out her camera to record the encounter.
I think we were a little frightened because they did bring up, big narcotic drugs and all that. So we were like, oh, we have nothing of the sort.
Her teammate Janai Elder was right behind her.
I know exactly what's about to go on. So I was like, I need to call my mom and let her know what's going on. And if something happens to me, I need to say goodbye because I don't know.
Confused and upset, you can hear one passenger ask a question.
How do we go from being in the wrong lane to going through our bags and checking things out?
All right, well, he stopped me for a traffic, didn't stop y'all for a traffic violation. He stopped the driver for a traffic violation, okay? While he's conducting his business, I can bring my dog out for free air.
This is how we start an investigation, okay? Most of the time it turns out to be nothing. But there are times where we end up finding some children that are missing from their family. We find large amounts of money that nobody knows anything about.
The deputies start searching through the women's personal belongings, their shoes, clothing, and prescription medication.
What is Vyvanse?
What is it?
Vyvanse? What is Vyvanse for?
I've heard of it.
They find a brown package and asks who it belongs to.
What is that?
I have no clue. My aunt gave it to me.
Your aunt gave it to you?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what it is?
Georgia, no. I didn't open it. I was waiting until I got back to school.
She says it was an Easter gift from her aunt. The deputy says he's going to open it off the bus to check inside.
It's a book safe.
It was a book safe. He rewraps the package and puts it back in her bag.
All right, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but it wasn't illegal. All right, ladies, thank you. We're going to get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your trip.
We are D1 Division I athletes, and we know the rules, the NCAA rules. We know we're not supposed to have drugs on us. So for them to just accuse us of having narcotics in our possession was just absurd.
So appalling to Sydney Anderson that she wrote about it in her school newspaper. The story blew up. What kind of motivated you to say, hey, something's wrong here. People need to know about this?
I remember being on the bus and telling my teammates, I'm going to make an article about this, about what we just experienced. If my article did not come out, this issue would have been swept under the rug and people would not have known what we've been through.
Liberty County Sheriff William Bowman defending his deputies in a news conference late last week. He said that the search was a part of a special operation.
There were several commercial vehicles stopped that morning, including another bus where contraband was located.
He later told news affiliate WSAV in a one-on-one that the search only continued because K-9 officers picked up a scent from the team's luggage.
Pretty much checked the bag just like TSA. They did it with care, they did it with compassion, and they put it back together and put them back on the bus.
Emily Campanelli is one of the only white women on the team. She was on that bus and says something needs to change.
If that bus was filled with girls that looked like me, that would never happen. Like, I've gotten pulled over before and it's, oh, hi, how are you, sweetie? Yeah, you're good to go. You know what I mean? So you can see the distinction. At this point, these officers need to be fired. Their badges need to be taken immediately. And there needs to be an investigation of the whole police department.
Delaware State University President Tony Allen says that the university does plan to file a civil rights complaint against the Liberty County Sheriff's Office. In a statement, he says, quote, "As some of you may know, Delaware Attorney General Kathleen Jennings formally requested that the incident be reviewed by the U.S. Department of Justice Office of Civil Rights. The Attorney General's request and our complaint are first steps, but the bus driver, our coaches, and the students have their own options, and they are certainly exploring their own paths forward. We wholly support them." Meanwhile, Sheriff Bowman says that his deputies could have done a better job in this case, and he's actively working to get some feedback from the university and speak with those students. He also says that he's working with his legal team to look at options on making policy changes. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter. Hello roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.